Bringing up the rear of the field in the last row of Billy LaPlante. And the number 6 machine of Scott McGill. Green flag on to the field. As heading into turn number 1, it is the 003 of LaRose as your race leader. He leads Zyra now, gets away from him a little bit, coming out of 2. LaRose looking to open that gap, but here comes Oben to the outside of Zyra. Down to the backstretch now into turn 3. Zyra to the inside, gets a little sideways as Oben is able to clear him. Now sets his sights on the 003 of LaRose. 1 lap in now. 6 laps the distance here for the Bandits. 2 heats will make up your field of the CKON 97.3 Bandits on Brass Horse and Grill Night. Some of the best pizza you're going to find in this area is right down to the Brass Horse. Now to the top side, the 003 of LaRose will drift back down into turn number 4. Has shut the door on the 89 machine of Oben. Now, Zyra, he's got some company. The 28J of Castell pulls up alongside of him, goes to the top side into turn number 1. Down to the backstretch now. Oben all over the rear bumper of the 003 of LaRose. LaRose will put it into turn 3, keep it on the bottom. He's got some excellent company here, and multi-time feature winner, the 89 of Matthew Oben. Now Castell able to clear the car of Zyra for that number 3 spot. 2 laps in, halfway home here, and 6 laps the distance. Oben sees an opening on the bottom, but quickly that door is shut by the 003 of LaRose. Down to the backstretch, he'll fire. Here comes Oben, going to take a peek to the top shelf, and he'll get out of that just a little bit and allows the 003 now to drift high. Oben's going to stick a nose in there, runs out of real estate coming out of turn number 4. Oben not able to complete the pass on that lap. 2 laps to go. Oben now back to the bottom side at LaRose. The 003 LaRose to the top side as they head down to the backstretch. LaRose doing all he can to fend off the challenges here of the 89 of Oben. Oben takes another peek to the top shelf. Can't make it work that time. LaRose is going to come back down to the bottom of turn number 4. 1 lap remaining, and he's got Oben on the rear bumper. The old bump and run now to the top side will go the 89 machine of Oben. Oben going to settle back into the rear bumper of the 003 of LaRose. Gives him the old bumper love as they head down to the back stretch. To the top side. Will Oben take a peek this time? No, he'll settle back in behind the 003 of Jean-Marc LaRose. LaRose out of turn 4 looking to pick up the first heat race of tonight. And that will go to the number 003 of Jean-Marc LaRose. To the outside, Oben. The number 2 spot, the 28J of Castell. And the 3 spot, and the 17 of Zyra. I didn't know he had any kids.
No. None. As Mike Gaucher in the 3, and I believe the number 8. We'll go with Gary Charlo on this one, but we'll have to find out. Green flag is out, and we are underway. Down the back straightaway, it is Daryl Mitchell into the early race lead. As Stuart Musa holds down that 2nd spot, then it is the 3 of Gaucher rounding out your top 3. Danny Lefebvre and the 8 of Charlo along with the 28 of Mainville completing your field. 1 lap is complete, and Daryl Mitchell up to the head of the class early on here as Mitchell works it down the back straightaway with Musa right there with him. Stuart Musa definitely been one of the factors late this year. 7 heat wins to go along with 3 feature wins this year. Daryl Mitchell has a feature win as well way early on in this season. But right now, Mitchell still holding down that top spot. Then it is the 101 of Musa, the 3 of Gaucher completing the top 3. Then Danny Lefebvre, a regular over at the Cornwall Speedway, having a solid season over there as well. Back into the 4th spot. Charlo rounds out the top 5 with Mainville in 6. Off of corner number 4 they go. It is Mitchell leading the parade down in front. Halfway sign is out. 3 in and 3 more to go. And Musa trying to run down Mitchell here in the closing stages of this one, but he's had no such luck. About 2 car lengths separate the top 2 drivers as they hit turns 3 and 4. Mike Gaucher sitting back there in the 3rd spot, looking for room to go. And Danny Lefebvre, a few car lengths behind this battle for the top 3 spots in 4th. 2 laps left to go for Daryl Mitchell as he works it up into turns 1 and 2. Now Mike Gaucher starts to close the gap on Musa for the number 2 spot. Field heads down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. Mitchell has started to open up that gap just a little bit. The 101 of Musa holds down 2nd, but he's feeling some pressure from Gaucher off of corner number 4. It is Mitchell leading the way. White flag is in the air. Stuart Musa, Mike Gaucher, that's your top 3. And they have been pretty much in the top 3 this entire race. Mike Gaucher going to have that battle with Stuart Musa for that 2nd spot. Down the back straightaway they go. Mitchell in control of this race off of corner number 4 this time by, and Daryl Mitchell will grab heat number 2 for the Bandits. Battle is still on for 2nd. It will be Musa at the line. Gaucher, Danny Lefebvre, Charlo, and Daryl Mainville will round out your field. So that will do it for the Bandits as the Mod Lights come
outside. It will go as I'm having the same problem. Oh, Matthew Shontosh as well. In behind them, the number 1W of Brad Reef, the 03 of Dan Reef, and rounding out the field will be the 11 of Brian Green, who is also topless tonight. Now, downtown Harley Brown gets off to the fast start here, coming down to the backstretch, but here comes the 60 of Scott Waldruff. He's got one victory already this season in the Mod Light class. Car drifts up just a little bit on the racing surface. That opens the door for Waldruff in the 60 machine as he'll take it down to the turns. Number one lap in for the Mod Lights tonight. Waldruff likes what he sees out front, nothing but nice, fast, smooth clay. The battle now for the number 2 spot is taking place rather than the number 3 spot. As getting to the inside is LaFramboy. He gets by the machine there of the 30 of Tim Reef. Of Harley Brown. Now settling in that number 2 spot is Robinson. Quickly, LaFramboy closes the gap on his rear bumper as they head down to the backstretch. That number 3 spot is the one to watch. As now LaFramboy challenged here by Brian Green, multi-time feature winner here at Mohawk. Scott Waldruff enjoying it so far as the battle for that number 2, 3, and 4 position is the one to watch on the field. That allows Waldruff to break away from the rest of the field as he takes it down to the backstretch. Now LaFramboy slips up just a little bit, and that'll allow Brian Green to take that number 3 spot away. Green now sets his sights on the 88 machine of Matthew Robinson. Robinson also topless here tonight in that number 2 spot. Halfway home, 6 laps to distance for the Mod Lights. Scott Waldruff on a very, very fast racing surface tonight is pulling up alongside is the 11 of Brian Green. To the outside, he's got Robinson. Brian Green started scratch on the field, looks to take that number 2 spot away. He'll do so on lap number 4 as Brian Green has the number 2 spot. 1 lap remaining here for the Mod Lights. Waldruff, does he have enough time to keep off the hard-charging Brian Green in the number 11 machine? Waldruff now coming to turn 3, settles back into 4, comes around to the checkered flag. Scott Waldruff will pick up heat race win number 1 for the Mod Lights tonight as something lets loose on that number 60 machine of Waldruff. That is not good smoke, Tim.
That's very, very expensive. That's you see that stuff coming out of the back of the car, or actually out of the front of the car? That's not smoke. That's 3 and 4. 10 laps the distance in the modified heat events tonight. Green flag flies. We are off and running into corners 1 and 2 for the first time. It will be Shane Pecor, your early race leader. Defending track champion Rabi is right there with him. Up into turns 3 and 4 they go. Rabi glued to the bottom. Pecor right about the middle of the racetrack. And Pecor will lead lap number 1. It's Rabi, Lattiser, O'Brien, and Plank, your top 5. As they hustle off into corners 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Top 2 have broken away from Lattiser by a couple of car lengths, but Lattiser, a veteran here at Mohawk, knows his way around this speedway, and he'll close that gap up rather quick off of corner number 4. And Lattiser staying in that 3rd spot with Timmy O'Brien some 3 car lengths behind in 4th. Dale Plank right there behind him in 5th. Off of corner number 2, it is Shane Pecor, your race leader. The 01 of Rabi sitting back there in that 2nd spot, looking to close the gap and take that lead away. Lattiser holds down 3rd. It's O'Brien and Plank, and Harvey Arquette Jr. completes the rest of the field. As they head down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry, it is Pecor, your race leader. Rabi, though, car looks a little bit tight getting into turns 3 and 4. He's having to hit the brakes pretty hard to get the car to turn just right, and that's allowing Pecor to drive off with the lead. And that Warrior Racing number 4 machine heading down the back straightaway. Now Rabi gets a great drive coming down the back stretch off of corner number 2 as he sets up his ride in turns 3 and 4. But once again, car pushes through turn number 3, allowing Pecor to drive away. Halfway sign is out, 5 in and 5 more to go. Rabi is still second, but Lattiser is quickly closing on the C&B Enterprises 01 machine out of Napanee, Ontario. And here comes Lattiser chasing after him in spot number 3. Timmy O'Brien and Dale Plank 4th and 5th. Arquette completes the rest of the field here. Shane Pecor, towards the latter part of this season, has come on pretty strong both here and at Cornwall as well, with a couple of top 5 runs in the last couple of weeks. Is really looking strong off of corner number 4. It is Pecor in command. 3 laps left to go. And Rabi right now lifts the left front in the air. He'll hold down second. Then it's Lattiser into third. Timmy O'Brien and Dale Plank still continue to complete the top 5 as they head through turns 3 and 4. One more time. Pecor pushes high off of corner number 4, but it won't matter. 2 laps left to go. Still holds about a 2-car length lead on Rabi as they hustle into turns 1 and 2. Lattiser is third, and Timmy O'Brien not able to close the gap on the top 3 drivers. And Dale Plank, obvious handling problems with that 77. Rounds out your top 5. White flag is in the air. Top 3 separated by about a car length apiece as they go into turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Down the back straightaway, Rabi gets a great drive. Down the back stretch off of corner number 2. Closing in on Pecor for the lead. Checkered flag is out, and Shane Pecor will go green to checkered. He grabs the win. Second to Rabi. Lattiser into third. O'Brien in fourth. Dale Plank rounds out your top 5, and Harvey Arquette Jr. will round out your field in 6th. So Shane Pecor.
So it'll be Papineau looking to fire here out of 4. Conklin to the outside. Papineau, we've got green racing conditions now as they take it into turn number 1 and 2. To the outside will go Conklin. Little sideways Nerf bar action there as Papineau drifts up a little bit. That opens the door. Here comes Billings in the 74 machine. Goes to the inside. Dive bombs for that number 2 spot. Coming out, leading lap number 1 will be the 29 of Tommy Conklin. Conklin, your race leader now. 1 lap in. It is Billings in second, followed by Papineau. Casey Swamp in fourth, followed by the 66X of Kerry Torrance. Rounding out the field, the 16 machine of Lance Willix. Tom Conklin comes around. He leads lap number 2 as well, as now Casey Swamp with some company as the 66X machine looks to go to the bottom, but nothing there. As Casey Swamp with a great run off of turn number 2. He leaves the 66X. In behind him, sets his sights for that number 3 spot. Casey Swamp now in behind David Papineau, looking to get by him here as he drifts up the track a little bit, coming out of turn number 4. Tommy Conklin, he's all alone up front as Billings doing everything he can to reel him in. 7 laps remaining distance here for the 358 dirt car modified. Out of turn number 4, Conklin continues to lead, followed by Billings, Papineau, Swamp, and Kerry Torrance as Lance Willix will take his machine pit side. 4 laps in, 6 laps to go here as the 29 machine of Conklin puts it into turns 3 and 4. Billings trying to close that gap, and he's doing it ever so slightly. Halfway home now as the cross flags are out. Conklin now down to the backstretch out of turn number 2. Here comes the 74 of Matt Billings. Billings looking to reel him in here. Can he get by the number 29 machine? Better yet, can he catch him? As David Papineau is going to have his hands full here, as here comes a hard-charging Kerry Torrance in the Twin Leaf Fresh Express machine. Out of turn number 2, it is the 29 of Conklin. Fires down to the backstretch, sets his machine in turns 3 and 4. Starting to open up that racing lead just a little bit as they come out of turn number 4. Conklin leads with 3 laps to go. David Papineau settles in that number 4 spot. Here comes Kerry Torrance to the inside. No, sir, no room there as Kerry Torrance ran out of real estate in a hurry. Now back over to turn number 4. Out of turn 4, Tommy Conklin. 2 laps to go. He has led every single lap tonight of this 10-lap event for the second heat for the modifieds. Billings now, he's closed that gap tremendously as they take it into turns number 3 and 4. Out of turn 4 now. 1 lap remaining. White flag on the field for the 29 machine of Tommy Conklin. Looking to get by him. Can he get by? Billings now backs off just a little bit coming out of turn number 2 as they head into the backstretch now down to turns 3 and 4. The 29 machine of Tommy Conklin comes out of turn number 4. Out of Gouverneur, New York, Tommy Conklin takes heat race win number 2. And now Kerry Torrance to the inside. He'll get the number 3 qualifying spot, rounding out the
along with the 31 of Tommy Jock Jr. That will be your field. Green flag is back out, and we are under racing speed. Up into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. It will be Brian McDonald, your early race leader. It's Tarbell, Danny O'Brien in that top 3 order as they motor down the back straightaway. Tommy Jock Jr., we haven't seen him in a few weeks out here in that 31 machine. He rides the high side up into that 4 spot, but he's got Billy Dunn right there in front of him. 5-time winner this season, digs down low, grabs the number 4 spot from Jock as they head down the back straightaway. The 151 of McDonald continues to lead the way. Then it is Tarbell. Danny O'Brien continues to continues to round out the top 3, I should say. Billy Dunn had some struggles last night at Lebanon Valley in the Mr. Dirt Track USA race for the Big Block Modified Super Dirt Car Series, which was won by Brett Hearn, and we'll get into that later. But up in front, Brian McDonald continues to lead the way, and he has moved his car up to the top shelf right now. That outside groove starting to work itself in, and he's pulling away from Roy Tarbell by about 6 car lengths as they head through turns 3 and 4. Danny O'Brien holds down third. It's Billy Dunn up into fourth, and Jock continues to complete the top 5 as Double LeGros rounds out the field in 6th. But up in front, former track champion in both Sportsman and in 358 modified competition here, Brian McDonald leads the way coming off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. Tarbell, the 2009 track champion, holds down second. Danny O'Brien, glad to have him back here as a regular. He ran here for many seasons in the early 80s and had some success. Never grabbed a track championship. That was his goal this year, but right now he is holding on to that third and final heat point spot at this time. Billy Dunn trying to work his way up into the top 3 if he possibly can. 6 laps are complete. Coming around this time by Brian McDonald. Will complete lap number 7. We've got 3 laps left to go, and McDonald is checked out. Of course, a trend has been set here from our previous heat winners as they have led every single lap from start to finish, and Brian McDonald looking to put his name to that list as well as he works it up into turns 3 and 4. He'll see 2 laps left to go this time. By off turn number 4, McDonald leads the way, and then it's Tarbell, Danny O'Brien, and Billy Dunn has closed in on O'Brien, but has had no such luck in getting by, as Dunn has got that car glued to the bottom, although he slipped up just a little bit off of turn number 2 and allowed O'Brien to get away from him. White flag is in the air for McDonald. He is gone about 6 car lengths ahead of the smoking gun, Roy Tarbell, as they head through turns 1 and 2 and down the backstretch for the final time. The battle is for that third spot with Danny O'Brien and Billy Dunn. O'Brien has it for the time being. Checkered flag is out. Third and final modified heat win goes to Brian McDonald. Tarbell will come home in second. It's O'Brien to third. Billy Dunn will get fourth. And rounding out the field will be Tommy Jock. He'll come home in fifth. And the 71 of
the outside of him in the home hardware machine, the 55 back in second row, George Renault to the outside. The 73 of P.J. Peters, Dion Oakes, Joey Lattiser, and Jody Swamp round out your field. 8 laps the distance here as Stabler breaks away. Won 2 features this year at the Cornwall Motor Speedway, picking up the second one last Sunday night. Now a gaggle of cars as they head into turn number 3. Getting back in, and Lattiser was a 69 machine of Swamp, and Lattiser will come to a stop going in between turns 3 and ready to go green again once again. Stabler, he likes that outside lane. Olban to the inside coming out of turn number 4. We've got a green flag back under racing conditions for the Pro Stocks. 1 lap in, 7 laps the remaining distance here for the Bailey Motor Company Series race tonight. Brass Horse is your sponsor of tonight's all racing events. We'll be going victory lane side with trophies for all tonight's future winners. Stabler out of 4 now as he's leading the 4 machine of Rocco Band. Dion Oakes, the 55 machine of George Renault, and to the outside, the 73 of P.J. Peters. Down to the backstretch. These cars throw a blanket over them for that number 2 spot. Stabler, he's got his hands full. He's got Dion Oakes behind him. He's got the Rock Oban, the home hardware car, in that number 2 spot as Joey Lattiser regains the field. He'll be down 1 lap here. As now getting to the high side, it is Oakes, and that opens up the door for the 55 machine of George Renault. Stabler, the benefactor of that one, as he's able to break away from the pack just ever so slightly coming out of turn number 4. Stabler continues to lead, followed by Renault, Oban, Dion Oakes, and P.J. Peters makes up your top 5. Stabler, he likes what he sees on the high side as he puts the power to the clay, going down to the backstretch. He's leading Renault now. And now to the inside, the 48 machine of 2-time feature winner here, Dion Oakes. To the outside, it'll be Rock Oban for that number 3 spot. Ken Oakes and Oban. Who will it be as they head into turn number 1? 5 laps in. 3 laps of remaining distance as Stabler continues to lead as Jody Swamp develops a push going into turn number 2. Stabler, he'll settle into turns 3 and 4, go to the high side, looking for an opening here as the 55 of the hard-charging George Renault. Not going to be able to do it this time. We've got 2 laps remaining here, 8 laps the distance. Here comes Renault on the inside as they head into turns number 2. To the outside will go the 7 machine of Stabler. Stabler able to fend off the hard-charging 55 of George Renault. Renault now, he'll pulls up wheel to wheel coming out of turn number 4. Stabler continues to lead, 1 lap remaining. They are side by side as they take into the turns 1 and 2. Stabler to the top side. Renaud now with a little bit more bite coming down to the bottom, but now in the backstretch. Stabler pulls up even with the 55 machine of Renaud. Renaud gets the nose out front, coming down the turn number 4. Out of turn number 4, George Renaud, your new race leader. Dean Oaks looking to get that number 2 spot. Wait, no sir, won't do that time. But fantastic.
Louis Jackson in the number 18. That is Action Jackson out there. Alan Peters in the 88. Stefan Lebrun's number 6. 102 of Preston Musa. Chris Tremblay in the 14 completes your field. Green flag is out. We are off and running. Down the back straightaway they go. It is Mark Lalonde, your race leader. Stefan Lebrun digging down low. And Stefan picked up one of the 2 features at Cornwall this past Sunday night for the Pro Stocks. His first win at Cornwall in quite some time as well. So Stefan having a strong season out there aboard the number 6 machine as he works it up into turns 1 and 2 with Mark Lalonde just in front of him. The track champion here from 2009, Louis Jackson, holds down the number 3 spot with Dan Denway and Alan Peters going at it for 4th and 5th as they motor down the front stretch. The 102 of Musau and Tremblay in the 14, completing your field. Up in front, though, Mark Lalonde continues to lead the way, and he has got some company behind him. A couple of former track champions here. Louis, a multi-time track champion here back in the early 90s, and of course, in the late 2000s as well. Off of turn number 4, he rides in that 3rd spot. Alan Peters, contender here for a couple of track titles over the years. Never could seal the deal, though. He rides in 4th. Dan Denway, everybody knows what he did towards the last part of this season in Bandit competition. Basically dominated, winning 4 of the last 6 events in Bandit action here. Riding in the number 5 spot, fresh off his first ever top 5 in a Pro Stock couple of weeks back. With 4 laps complete, Mark Lalonde continues to lead the way, but Stefan Lebrun has been right there with him this entire race. They head into turns 3 and 4, and Jackson works that outside groove as well in the number 18 with the 88 of Alan Peters holding down 4th. It is the 64 of Denway completing your top 5 as the field motors into turns 1 and 2 this time. Mark Lalonde is right there on the bottom, and, well, this is getting to be an expensive night, and Alan Peters has an expired power plant over there in corner number 2, and he will get it pit side, and we will stay under green. Hopefully there's not any fluid that's laid down in the racing groove over there, and we'll have to see. These drivers, they all seem to make it through turns 1 and 2 just fine, so we're going to stay under green, and Mark Lalonde trying to stay out in front of the field here as he comes up off of corner number 4. Stefan Lebrun making a bid for the lead off the turn, and the 18 of Jackson holds down that 3rd spot. Strong race car for him as he works the outside part of the speedway. Now Mark Lalonde opens up about a half car length down the backstretch, but Lebrun quickly closes into turns 3 and 4. Jackson trying to make something happen on the top shelf. No such luck. Mark Lalonde's going to grab the win. 2nd will go to Lebrun. Jackson will come home in 3rd. 4th right now is Dan Denway, and a little bit of smoke out of his ride.
Dylan Evoy to the outside. Ricky Thompson in the 53 machine rounding out the field. Feature winner 2 weeks ago, Mike Arquette, the Brazier Bullet out of Brazier Falls, New York. 8 laps the distance here for the Sportsman. Young Thomas Cook breaks away with the race lead as they head out of turn number 2. Look at them. They're grouped up 5 wide, 3 wide going into turn 3. Something's got to give here as everybody eases off. That opens it up for Evoy as he gets the number 3 spot away. Now to the bottom, Jalbert will go and the inside of the 70 of Josh Brockway. Thomas Cook, you've got company. You've got a car on the outside. The 83 of Dylan Evoy. Cook pulls even with him now. Evoy back to the top side. He'll motor his machine right around Thomas Cook. Cook now with a flat tire, I do believe, or an ill-handling race car. Mechanical issues there. He's got an awful push in that race machine. That allows Evoy. He's looking to get back into victory lane here. And it's been a couple weeks for him. Now Evoy to the top side coming out of turn number 4. Followed by Jenna David, the 95 of Tammy Jalbert. Mike Arquette quickly getting into that number 4 spot. He started scratch on the field. Evoy looking to take no prisoners tonight as he heads down to the backstretch. Followed by Jenna David, Tammy Jalbert, and Mike Arquette. 3 laps in, 5 laps remaining distance here. Correction, 6 laps the distance for the Sportsman. Evoy all alone up front, the way he likes to do things here, as he's basically checked out on the rest of this field, as Jenna David's going to have to hold off Tammy Jalbert, and Mike Arquette now looking to reel in the 95 of Tammy Jalbert. Mark Arquette now tries to get his machine, pushes up the track just a little bit, going into turns number 4. Evoy down to the backstretch. He'll go all alone by himself. Jalbert pushes high in turn number 2. That opens the door for the Brazier Bullet. To the inside will go Mike Arquette. Now he'll take in the turns 3 to the bottom. Tammy Jalbert regroups her machine and is right on the rear bumper of the 2 EZ of Mike Arquette. Arquette leads Jalbert as they head into turn number 2. We've got 2 laps remaining here, and basically, unless something happens, Dylan Evoy is basically just put a whooping on this field here tonight for this first heat race for the Sportsman. Coming around now, White is on the field, followed by Jenna David. The 2 EZ of Mike Arquette. Tammy Jalbert running out your top 5 is the 53 of Ricky Thompson. Coming around, collecting the checkered flag, the 83 machine of Dylan Evoy. Heat race winner number 1 tonight, followed by Jenna David, Mike Arquette, Tammy Jalbert in the 53 machine of Ricky Thompson. Successful debut for him, if you will.
Jackson Jr., Rick Miller in the 3M, Jessica Powers 52, 8A of Dana Aikens along with the 5 of Wyatt Mullen, and rounding out your field, the 70X. And we'll get the driver name on that 70X in just a few moments as they head through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. It will be the 18 of Jackson coming up off the corner, grabbing the lead away. The 29 of Anderson, who has a heat win here this season in his rookie campaign in the Sportsman division. Jessica Power, feature win already this year at Brockville. She rides back there in third. Wyatt Mullen's been getting stronger each and every week as well. And the number 5, he rides right there in spot number 4. And Rick Miller back with us once again in the number 3. If you recall, a couple of weeks ago, Rick Miller took a nasty flip here on the front stretch, actually collected up a couple of grader tires, and that kind of propelled him down the front stretch upside down. But the car is looking pretty strong now, running in the number 5 spot as the 18 of Jackson continues to motor away down into turns 1 and 2 with about 4 car lengths on Thunder Anderson, who has his hands full with Jessica Power, as Power puts that number 52 up into the 3rd spot with the 5 of Mullen and the 3M of Miller completing your top 5. Dana Aikens just behind him in 6, and Dana nearly pulled off the victory this past Saturday night at Brockville. 4 1,000ths of a second were between him and Chris Herbison for that feature win as he gets by Miller, who slips up off of corner number 2 to grab the number 5 spot. But it's Jackson all by himself with 5 laps complete in this 8-lap heat event, the second of 3 on the evening for the Sportsman division. As they make their way down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry, it's Jackson in the number 1 spot. Anderson still holding off Power from the number 2 position as they work off of corner number 4. 2 laps left to go. Austin says, "You got a big lead out there, kid." And right now, Jackson trying to hold that lead all the way to the end as they muscle down the back straightaway. The 29 of Anderson doing a great job holding off Power for the number 3 spot. And in the process, this is allowed Wyatt Mullen to sneak up in there in the 4th spot as he's trying to get 3rd away from Power off of corner number 4. White flag is in the air. Jackson and Anderson are checking out on the rest of the field. The battle is from 3rd on back. Jessica Power may have picked up a little bit of a push in that 52 as Mullen is right there with her off of corner number 4. A full straightaway win for Louis Jackson Jr. in the number 18. He grabs the heat win. Second will go to Anderson. Power holds off Mullen at the line for 3rd. Dana Aikens will cross in 5th. Rick
Maybe Jeff got confused.
It happens sometimes.
Mike Stacy now to the bottom. Looks to get green coming out of turn number 4. Billy Cook to the top side. The gentleman drifts his machine into turn number 1. Some pretty strong company in behind him. As the ending to the bottom is the 3 machine of Adam Rozon. He almost able to clear the 1 machine of Nolan Swamp here, but Billy Cook likes what he sees on the high side, able to power away. Devin Caron in that number 24 machine. I apologize, that is not Jeff Gordon in the 24 machine. It is Devin Caron. Now down to the backstretch. It'll go the 70 of Billy Cook. Billy Cook, your race leader. To the inside will go the 3 of Adam Rozon. Looking to open that can a little bit here on the 23 machine of Mike Stacy. 2 laps in, 4 laps remaining distance here for the Sportsman. Final heat, and then we'll go into the Bandit feature. 12 laps the distance for them. Then a quick intermission as we'll get into our regular feature event. Billy Cook continues to lead down Brass Horse night. Glad our fine folks, fine sponsors from Brass Horse are back along with us tonight. As now Adam Rozon goes to the inside, takes a peek on Billy Cook, but can't make that car stick as he drifts a little bit coming into turn number 2. Billy Cook now back to the high side. Over Rosan going to try to open up the bottom, but Billy Cook using the whole track to his advantage here. The KG veteran out of Akwesasne likes what he's got here going so far. To the top side, Billy Cook, Adam Rosan trying to make that machine stick as Mike Stacy, all sorts of problems here as he goes down to the backstretch as Adam Rosan now takes a peek to the inside of Billy Cook. They are neck and neck. 2 laps remaining for the Sportsman here and the third and final heat for them. Rosan, your new race leader as he powers his machine down to the backstretch. Billy Cook will pull even. Rosan puts a little more power to the clay coming out of turn number 4. We've got 2 laps remaining. Correction on that one. 8 laps the remaining distance. Adam Rosan, your new race leader. That'll open it up for the 30 machine of Brent Kelsey, but he gets a little bit of a push going into turn number 2. Rather, coming out of turn number 2, cannot make that machine stick. 1 lap remaining now for Adam Rosan. First-time feature winner a few weeks ago here at Mohawk International Raceway. 1 lap the distance now. 2 more turns of the steering wheel for the 3 machine of Adam Rosan. Brent Kelsey got an awful push in his machine every time he tries to stick it in the bottom in turn number 2. Rosan now out of turn number 4. He looks to get the checkered flag. He'll do that for heat race number 3 of the night, followed by Billy Cook, Brent Kelsey, Nolan Swamp, and Brian Kopp.
Number 3 into the safe haven of the pit area. John Mark LaRose and Stuart Musau lead him to the green off of corner number 4. Green flag flies. 12 laps is the distance. And Corey Castell did not get going on that initial start, but we are going to stay under green here as Jean-Marc LaRose jumps out to the early race lead as they motor down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. Musau is second. Matthew Oban, a 5-time winner this year, and he has won the last 3 in a row, looking for his 4th feature win in a row and 6th of the year if he can get the job done. But Jean-Marc LaRose has been one of the dominating forces in this division, not only here right now, but of course at Brockville, where he's won 2 straight track titles. He's also won a track championship at the now defunct Autodrome Edelweiss and is a former mini stock champion at Cornwall as well. So Jean-Marc LaRose is definitely racking up the accolades here in Bandit competition. And as he motors down the back straightaway off of corner number 2 in pursuit of his first ever MIR feature win, down the back stretch they go. Matthew Oban opens up the bottom lane and drives off into the number 3 spot, getting by Daryl Mitchell, and Mitchell charges back after him in turn number 4. Mike Gaucher completes the top 5. 4 laps are complete, and Jean-Marc LaRose definitely opening up that lead right now as Oban is starting to make his way forward. He slides by Stuart Musau to pick up the number 3 or the number 2 spot. Oban started 6th on the field, and your current points leader charging after LaRose down the front straightaway. 5 laps are complete in this 12-lap feature go, and Matthew Oban is on the charge, and right now has his sights set on the 003 of LaRose as they make their way down the back straightaway. Stuart Musau is 3rd, followed by Daryl Mitchell, and Mike Gaucher completing the top 5 in the number 3. Right now, Brian, we got ourselves pretty good battle here for the top spot as Jean-Marc LaRose leads the way at halfway. And correction on that. We'll be halfway this time by. Right now, that battle still hasn't gone away, though, as LaRose powers to the bottom, but Oban has been that much quicker on the top shelf, and he's going to take away the lead at halfway.
Sorry about that, Tim. Halfway now for the 89 of Oban. Oban, your new race leader, as he gets by the 003 of LaRose to the high side. Now, Stuart Musau drifts up the track ever so slightly. Daryl Mitchell looking to reel him in for that number 3 position. Oban looking to check out on this field. Halfway home, we've got 5 more laps remaining for the 89 machine of Matthew Oban, multi-time winner here at the Mohawk International Raceway in 2012. He'll power down to the backstretch. He's going to have some lap traffic here. Gary Charlot and LaPlante and that number 24 machine. Which lane is he going to choose here? LaPlante's on the top side. Charlot to the bottom. Oban's going to stick to the bottom here and probably drift to the high side going into turn 1, and he'll do exactly that as he powers his way around the number 8 machine of Gary Charlot. 4 laps remaining now for Matthew Oban. I'll tell you what, once he got out past the 003 of LaRose, he has said, "See you later, alligator," to the rest of this field. Coming into turn 4 now, out of turn 4 is the 89 machine of Oban. He continues to lead. Here comes LaRose as he works his way gingerly through lap traffic. 3 laps of remaining distance now as Mainville, the next lap car for the 89 of Matthew Oban. Oban on the binders just a little bit as he'll take into turn number 3. Gets by the 28 machine of Mainville on to turn number 4. 2 laps the remaining distance. Huge margin of lead here for the 89 of Oban, followed by LaRose. Now Stuart Musa gets around Charlo, sets his sights on the number 003 of LaRose. Not going to be able to get by him probably on this lap, as Musa will drift high on the track in the turn number 2. Daryl Mitchell now. He's deep into lap traffic as he gets by the number 8 machine as well. 1 lap remaining for the 89 machine of Matthew Oban. Oban has absolutely dominated this feature event from the halfway point on. Down to the backstretch he'll go on Brass Horse Night. 2 more turns of the steering wheel. Turn 3 and turn 4 for the 89 machine of Oban. Oban out of turn number 4. Tonight's Bandit feature winner, the 89 of Matthew Oban, followed by the 003 of Jean-Marc LaRose, the 101 of Stuart Musa, Corey Castell, and Daryl Mitchell will round out your top 5. Actually, I do believe Corey Castell was a lap car, so it will go as I'm trying to figure this out.
The very, very happy and elated Oban crew comes out to greet him. How about a round of applause? 6th win of the season for Matthew Oban. He is on a tear, no doubt, here in 2012. 6 wins this season. I believe 3 at Cornwall. I have to. A big show coming up this coming Sunday night. 100 laps. Canadian National Series for the 358 Modifieds. Set to go. 35 laps is the scheduled distance. Green flag is out. 3rd and final event of the Bailey Motor Company Pro Stock Series is underway. Into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. It will be George Renault grabbing the top spot down the backstretch. Lalone, Stabler, and the 6 of LeBrun throw Dion Oaks into that mix. You got a great battle in the top 5 already. Off of corner number 4, it will be Renault leading the way. Going down into turn number 1. The 8 of Lalone holds down second as he takes the top shelf around the outside part of the speedway, going off of corner number 2, getting around Stabler, and he's going to try to bring Stefan Lebrun along with him. Off of turn number 4 they go. It's still Renault leading the way down the front straightaway. The 55 works it up into turns 1 and 2 with about 4 car lengths. Battle is for second right now as Lebrun takes that number 6 down to the inside part of the speedway. Alone, very much committed to the top shelf as he works it up into turns 3 and 4. LeBrun is very strong on the bottom of the speedway off of corner number 4. They will race down the front stretch in that number 2 spot as he is alongside of Lalone once again going into turn number 1. The 7 of Stabler right there in spot number 4. Then it is the 48 of Oaks. Louis Jackson has not missed a beat whatsoever. His first race of the season here at MIR, working the outside groove around PJ Peters to try to pick up 6th. Then just behind him, it's Rock Oba and Dan Denway. And your points leader, Joey Lattiser, still stuck back there in spot number 10, but he won't be back there much longer. 4 laps are complete, and George Renault, the ever-consistent number 55, up to the head of the class as he works it up off of turn number 4 at lap 5.
So Renault has led every lap so far. 30 laps remaining distance here for the Mohawk Racing Series final event for them in the 2012 season. Renault up front, followed by LeBron. Mark Lalone now the battle for the number 4 spot is the one to watch on the track. To the inside will go the 48 of Dion Oaks. To the outside, Ryan Stabler. He won his heat race here this evening. That number 4 spot is the race to watch as Renault has opened up about a 10-car length lead on the number 2 car, or the number 2 position of Stefan Lebrun, followed by Mark Lalone. Now Dion Oaks takes another peek down low, able to clear the 7 machine of Stabler, but Stabler battling hard back onto the high side out of 4, and Stabler regains that number 4 position. He's on the rear bumper of Mark Lalone. Lalone now going to have to fend off the hard-charging 7 of Stabler. Stabler drifts high just a bit coming out of turn number 2. That allows Dion Oaks to remain at pace with him as they go to the inside of turn number 3. Now coming out of 4, Renault continues to lead on lap number 8. Renault all alone up front, but LeBron able to close that gap ever so slightly. We got a couple cars getting twisted around the 7 machine of Stabler, facing the wrong way on a one-way street. Not sure what train laps in. 35 the laps the distance here for the Mohawk Racing Series. Mohawk Parks Racing Series. Renault now sees the green flag. He puts the loud pedal down to the floor, but here comes LeBron fighting his way back to the top side. He pulls even with Renaud. Renaud on the bottom. Coming into turn number 3, they are side by side. LeBron to the top side. Renaud now drifts up a little bit, trying to crowd him. Coming out of turn number 4, they are side by side on lap number 10.
And I'll tell you what, this final event for the Bailey Motor Company Pro Stock Series is heating up as Stefan Lebrun makes his charge to the top side. He'll go to the lead. George Renaud relegated as second. Dion Oaks holds down third. Jackson is up into the 4th spot already. Mark Lalone is still committed to the top side, but he has got Joey Ladisser right there to his inside. Into turns 1 and 2 they go. Ladisser working the bottom side of the speedway now. Working the bottom side is George Renaud. He's going to go back to the lead, down the back straightaway. Up into turns 3 and 4 they go. Renaud sets his sights on the lead, and he will grab it coming down the front stretch. Although Lebrun fights back on the top side. A great battle for the number 1 spot ensues. Going into turn number 1, the 48 of Oaks with the 18 of Jackson, and now Ladisser is cracked into the top 5 here just before the halfway point. 12 laps are complete in this 35-lap contest, and George Renaud is back to the head of the class off of corner number 4. He leads the way, and Lebrun, Dion Oaks, and we have got a car into the wall. It is the 14 of Chris Tremblay, but is able to keep it going. We will stay under green as the field motors down the back straightaway up into turns 3 and 4 with George Renaud in command of this field. Off of turn number 4 they go. It is Renaud, Lebrun, and Oaks in that top 3 order right now. Louis Jackson and the 92 of Ladisser going at it for 4th and 5th. Couple of track champions here in the past, and Joey Ladisser has big things going for him tonight. Would love to get another Bailey Motor Company championship and also his 100th win in Pro Stock competition.
Renaud leads on lap number 15. LeBron on his rear bumper, but Dion Oaks starting to make a name for himself. He's in the top 3, followed by Louis Jackson, along with Joey Ladisser. He rounds out your top 5. Renaud, he's going to stick that machine right to the bottom coming out of turn number 4. He'll lead lap number 16 as well. LeBron looking to close that gap between him and the 55 machine. LeBron, multi-time feature winner here at Mohawk 2009, track champion as well. Dion Oaks into the 3rd spot. He's going to pick his lane here as he's going to wait for Renaud or LeBron to make a mistake as coming out of turn 4. LeBron is still in 2nd. Renaud, your leader. Car off the backstretch, the 102 of Preston Musa. Lap number 17. It is George Renaud. He leads. He starts to pull away ever so slightly down to the backstretch. They'll fire into turns 3 and 4. LeBron will stick his machine to the bottom. Dion Oaks drifting a little higher on that racing surface, trying to find a little bit more moisture, a little more forward bite, if you will. Renaud now into turn number 1. He continues to lead as he'll power his way out of turn 2 down to the backstretch. He'll fire. George Renaud is your race leader, followed by LeBron. LeBron back to the bottom now. Renaud drifts a little bit coming in and out of turn number 4. Lap number 19, Renaud continues to lead. Lap traffic should be an issue. The 102 of Preston Musa will be lap traffic here in about a lap and a half perhaps. Renaud down to the backstretch, followed by LeBron and Oaks, Louis Jackson, and Joey Ladisser is in the top 5. Jackson drifts way up into turn number 3. Lap number 20, Renaud continues to lead.
And Stefan Lebrun is right there with him. He has not been but about a car length and a half off that back bumper all race long. And Dion Oaks in that 48 is right there with him as well in 3rd. Joey Ladisser has gone around the 18 of Jackson to pick up 4th. And Jackson is going to take the 18 pit side. A tough break for Louis, making his return to the speedway here in 2012. Not exactly the result he was looking for, but meanwhile up in front, the battle for the lead rages on. George Renaud trying to make short work of this night as he leads the way by about 3 car lengths now over Stefan Lebrun as he got held up in lap traffic as the 102 of Preston Musa slides up the racetrack, allowing the top 5 to get on by. 22 laps are complete. George Renaud has come to life this season in 2012. 1 feature win at Cornwall this year. He's got a Mohawk Race Parts Series feature win. Looking to add his first ever Bailey Motor Company Pro Stock Series feature win to his back pocket as well. Down into turns 1 and 2 they go. Lap 23 is up on the scoreboard, and Renaud leads the way. The battle is for that number 2 and 3 spots. As they head down the backstretch, Joey Ladisser is on a mission down to the inside part of the speedway as him and Dion Oaks go at it for 3rd and 4th. Oaks on the top shelf. Ladisser sticking right right down low at the line. Oaks will still hold the number 3 spot, but they've got Stefan Lebrun just in front of them, and he bobbles just a little bit in turn number 2, allows Lattiser and Oaks to close the gap down the back straightaway. We'll have 10 laps left to go in this 35-lap contest. Final event in the Bailey Motor Company Pro Stock Series, and Renault leads the way.
The race for the number 2 spot is the one to watch. Lattiser puts a little bit of a fender onto the 48 machine of Oaks, trying to push him up that racetrack to get that number 3 spot. Oaks on the top side, Lattiser on the bottom as they go into turns 3 and 4. Now Lattiser closes on the rear bumper of LeBrun. He's got to get off the gas a little bit. That'll allow Renault to break away from the herd. Now into turn 1 and 2. George Renault, he likes what he's got. Dion Oaks with some problems. Probably a left front or right rear, or left front or, excuse me.
Joey Lattiser waiting to pounce. 8 laps left to go.
8 laps to the remaining distance for the 55 machine of Renault. He's got LeBrun and he's got the 92 of Lattiser. Lattiser, he's going to take his machine to the top side. Looks to power around the 6 machine of LeBrun. Not going to do it coming out of turn number 2. Renault, he likes his machine, how it works on the bottom, and that's exactly where he's going to stick it going into turn 3 and coming out of 4. LeBrun still in second. Pursued here by the 92 machine of Joey Lattiser. Now the 73 of PJ Peters hops into the fray. Lattiser now out of 2, pulls to the high side. Gets around LeBrun, noses that car in front of him, looking for the number 2 spot. Now Lattiser challenging for the lead, coming out of turn number 4. It is George Renault, still your race leader, but Lattiser, he's found something on that top shelf here tonight, folks. LeBrun powers his way back, but Lattiser able to break away, sets his sights on the number 1 position. The 55 of Renault done an excellent job so far. He's led most of these laps. In fact, now Renault will drift up the track, coming out of turn number 4. Lattiser in pursuit.
5 laps left to go, and the defending series champion has the lead in his sights as they motor down the back straightaway. Stefan Lebrun, PJ Peters up into this mix as well. Down into turns 3 and 4. Lattiser puts the car to the top side. George Renault coming into the bottom, and he slows a little bit off of 4. And Lattiser, your new leader, at lap 31. 4 laps left to go. 4 more remain for Joey Lattiser, and 100 wins will be in his back pocket if he can get the job done. Now, the 73 of Peters sees daylight on the outside as well. He gets around the 55 of Renault, or at least tries to, off of corner number 4 as they drag race down the front stretch. Stefan Lebrun a few car lengths out of the mix right now in the number 6. 3 laps left to go. And Joey Lattiser looking to etch his name into the record books as the first driver in pro stock competition in dirt car racing to get 100 wins. He's got 2 laps left to do it. Down the front stretch he goes as the 73 of Peters looking to put a stop to it as they go off into turns 1 and 2. He powers to the outside of George Renault into turn number 2. He's got the second spot down the back straightaway. Renault relegated to the number 3 spot with LeBrun, and now Mark Lalone completing the top 5. White flag is in the air for Joey Lattiser. Lattiser coming into tonight, 99 career wins in dirt car pro stock racing, and right now, a couple of car lengths separate him and PJ Peters. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Checkered flag is in the air, and ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen history. Joey Lattiser picks up the win, his 100th career dirt car pro stock win, and his 2nd consecutive Bailey Motor Company Pro Stock Series championship. PJ Peters, George Renault, Stefan Lebrun, and Ryan. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for him. He has earned this one. $100 wins. I don't think many of us have 100 wins on a video game, let alone 100 wins in an actual race car. But jumped into this pro stock class back in the late 90s.
Career victories in the pro stock division. Nice little burnout to end the evening. He's got the hat on. He's starting to climb out his machine here. He's going to be joined by his lovely bride and his son. He's out of the race machine. Let's hear it for the 92, Joey Lattiser. Tonight's Mohawk Racing Parts feature winner 35-lap event. Get a few words here with Joey pit side. Gets a high five from the son. Joey, congratulations. You've got 100 career victories.
Yeah, it was getting kind of old with people were asking me when you're going to get the next one, but you know, we've had a lot of victories up to now, and that's a real testament to my crew, my family. My wife stands behind me. I got some great sponsors, Fence Depot, Cuffage 2020, Minimax, Glengarry Truck Center, Mr. Radiator. I've had a lot of people help me out through the years. We started off pretty humble, and it's, I guess, a nice milestone to reach.
Now, this one didn't come easy tonight. You had to start scratching the field. You went to the high side. High side seemed to work for you tonight.
Well, it was my best groove to run, but there was always somebody there, and we got boxed in with Dion and Stefan, and I don't know what happened with Dion here. I think he was seeing that Stefan was struggling. I was trying to take advantage of him too, and I hate that we made contact over here. I mean, that's hard racing. We're getting down to the end. The lap before, I just said, man, I'm having a blast here, and that kind of spoiled it a bit. But after that, we were able to get up on the outside and race real good with George. And like I said, it's starting from the back the way we did, I guess it makes it that much sweeter.
Joey, anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Well, like I mentioned, I says, I got my sponsors, Fence Depot, Glengarry Truck Center, Minimax, Pumpage 2020. Like I said, my family and crew. Frank's been behind me. Steve's been behind me for probably the first 50. Steve was with me for most of them, and he started coming back around the last couple of years, and it's nice to have him here for that too.
So in the Lattiser, one quick question. In the Lattiser household, do you have the most career victories now?
I don't think I'll ever catch my dad. My dad probably won about 50 mini stock races in '74 just for one season. So, I mean, it's, I don't know. We don't keep track of that, but this one's on the record books, and we're real proud of it.
Congratulations, tonight's feature winner of the Mohawk Racing Parts Series event, the 92 of Joey Lattiser.
Canadian National Series event at Cornwall this coming Sunday night. 100 laps for the modifieds. Green flag set to go. 25 laps the distance. We're off and running. Shane Pecor out to the early race lead. Field scrambles up into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Tommy Conklin way out of shape up on the top side of turn number 2, and he'll bring it back down, but he loses about 12 spots out there as he's got some problems with that 29 up in front. Shane Pecor is having no problems. He jumps out into the race lead at lap number 1. It's Brian McDonald, Chris Raby, Danny O'Brien, and look at Kerry Taransko through the back of the field. He went 3 wide with Laura Lattiser and Matt Billings. Billy Dunn, Timmy O'Brien just behind him right there off of corner number 4. Shane Pecor continues to lead the way. 2 laps are complete, and Brian McDonald went a strong run going a couple of weeks ago with problems on the final lap, relegated him to about a 16th place finish as opposed to finishing 4th, but right now he has got better things happening for him on the top side of turn number 4. Brian McDonald is your new race leader. They go off into corners 1 and 2. Pecor trying to fight back on the bottom side of the speedway. Defending track champion Chris Raby is right there with him in 3rd. Then it's Danny O'Brien, Roy Tarbell. That's your top 5. Billy Dunn has already moved up into the number 6 spot as they make their way down the front straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. It is McDonald. I'm sorry, that is Laura Lattiser in the 6th spot. Billy Dunn just cracking into the top 10 now around the outside of Timmy O'Brien. Meanwhile, back up in front to the lead, it is McDonald. And now here comes Chris Raby in a bid for the number 2 spot. But Pecor fights him off down the front stretch.
Brian Slim McDonald continues to lead on lap number 5. McDonald drifts to the top shelf. He has been super fast there for the last few weeks. So far, so good for him as he'll take into the turns 3 and 4. Pecor follows in pursuit now on the top side. To the bottom will go the 01 of Raby, followed by Danny O'Brien, then 007 of the smoking gun, Roy Tarbell. To the top side, McDonald now down to the backstretch on lap number 6. Pulling alongside is the 01 of Chris Raby to the door of the 4 of Shane Pecor. Coming out of turn number 4. Chris Raby now will get that number 2 spot away from Pecor. Back to the top side now as McDonald drifts high. The 01 of Raby, he clears that machine of Shane Pecor, the Warrior Racing car. McDonald out of turn number 4. He continues to lead, but Raby, he's liking what he sees on the bottom of this racing surface. 8 laps in, 17 to go. Brian McDonald will take down to the backstretch. The next race, the next car for him will be the lap car of Harvey Arquette Jr. in that 7, as we've got the 16 of Lance Willix coming to a stop here on the to the top side. Will go the 01 of Chris Raby. We're looking for green coming out of turn number 4. Pecor and O'Brien in that 2nd row looking to pounce here. Brian Slim McDonald off on the green flag. He fires to the high side immediately. Goes to the top shelf. Now he'll go down the turns number 2. Turn number 2 down to the backstretch. He continues to lead here on lap number 9. Raby into that number 2 spot, but he's got company. Here comes the pocket rocket looking to challenge for that number 2 spot.
And right now, Danny O'Brien is working that outside groove to perfection. He has gotten around Roy Tarbell, and he has brought Laura Lannister with him up to the number 4 spot, and he is in pursuit of Chris Raby going into turns 3 and 4. Raby right there on the bottom. Danny O'Brien right on the top side going off into corners 1 and 2 with Brian McDonald leading the way. Brian McDonald has not won in 3 seasons, and Shane Pecor jumps the cushion in turn number 2, allows Timmy O'Brien and Gage Moran to get by. As the field scrambles into turn number 4, it is McDonald, Raby, and O'Brien. 1, 2, and 3 right there. Lannister is up to the 4th spot with Roy Tarbell rounding out your top 5. Kerry Torrance is 6th. Billy Dunn is charged up through this field now up into the 7th position as they make their way down the front straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. McDonald on the top side, Raby still glued to the bottom of the racetrack off of corner number 4. And right now, Danny O'Brien still sitting back into that 3rd spot with Laura Lannister feeling some pressure now from Roy Tarbell. Just behind him, Lannister's teammate Billy Dunn has jumped up halfway from his starting position. He is now 6th. Getting on by Kerry Torrance as Tarbell looked to make the move on Lannister. Couldn't get the job done. He ran out of racetrack coming off of turn number 4, and that's going to allow Kerry Torrance to jump to the top side. He's going to go by for 5th, albeit for a moment, though, as Tarbell powers back by the 66 in turn number 3, but off corner number 4, McDonald leads the way.
So Brian McDonald on lap number 15 continues to lead. He got out front in a hurry, and he's led most of these laps. Now back to the top side. He'll look to put his machine in turns 3 and 4. Raby, he likes sticking to that bottom, has not been able to close the distance between him and Slim McDonald. Slim back further to the high side. He enters turn 1 on the bottom. He'll go to the top side coming out of 2. Down to the backstretch, he'll fire on lap number 16. Raby now starting to reel in Brian Slim McDonald ever so slightly. McDonald, he'll have company on the top side. It is Harvey Arquette going to be going down a lap again as McDonald will slip his machine to the bottom into turn number 1. McDonald bobbles a little bit going into turn 2, but now back onto the gas, coming down to the backstretch. The next car, the 71 of Delbert LeGros, he'll be scored down a lap. To the top side goes back McDonald as he clears the 71 car of Delbert LeGros on lap number 18. Back to the bottom now. Raby in that 01 machine. He's closed that gap by about a car length. Down to the backstretch. Raby's machine starting to get faster as this 25-lap feature event goes on Brass Horse Night. Back to the top side. McDonald coming out of 4. Lap number 19. Brian McDonald continues to lead, but here comes Raby hard charging onto the bottom side of the racing track. Back to the bottom, out of turn number 2. Raby, he has reeled him in. He's got company, does Brian McDonald. On the rear bumper, but Raby back to the bottom side. Lap number 20. Slim McDonald continues to lead. Brian McDonald now. He's got company. Here comes the 01 Raby. Back to the downside. It is Raby. He clears, gets that number 1 spot away from Brian Slim McDonald, but not for long. McDonald fighting hard back onto the top side. Coming out of 4, it is Raby, your new race leader. Lap number 21 now. As McDonald starting to fade here in the late stages of this event. The next car going a lap down is the 31 machine of Tommy Jock Jr. To the bottom will go the 01 of Chris Raby. We've got 3 laps remaining here for the 01. Brian McDonald now pursuing in number 2. Position number 2 is Brian McDonald. Here comes Danny O'Brien now. He'll fight his way for that number 2 spot. He'll go back to the bottom side of the 151 KB of Brian McDonald. Chris Raby, he has opened up a pretty substantial margin here on lap number 23. 2 laps remaining on Brass Horse Night for the 358 mods. Now to the bottom will go Danny O'Brien. He takes a peek, but Brian Slim McDonald slams the door, but Danny O'Brien finds the door handle and opens it back up. Back to the bottom side now as we've got Casey Swamp into the wall. Things could get interesting down to the front stretch as Yellow is on the field, and the field will be able to clear Casey Swamp on that one. Something let loose on that. Raby now slowly put his machine in the turn 3. Looks to build up momentum coming into turn number 4. Now Raby's on the gas coming out of 4 looking for the green flag. We've got a green flag, lap number 24. 25 laps the remaining distance. 25 laps the distance here tonight for the modified as McDonald settles in that number 2 spot. O'Brien number 3 spot. Laurent Ladisser in that number 4 spot. Coming around the 01. Chris Raby picking up the checkered flag tonight on Brass Horse Night at Mohawk International Raceway. Correction, Billy Dunn will be scored in that number 3 spot. Danny O'Brien 4th. Laurent Ladisser.
How about a round of applause? Second win of the season for your defending track champion. How about it for Chris Raby? popped my head in the car there and said, it's been a long time. Second win of the season. I tell you what, you've had a dominant season at Can-Am Saturday nights, but here, like we talked to start the season, it is tough right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of good runners here. Pretty stout field here on Friday nights, but I got to thank my whole team that stands behind me each and every week. Bug Oaks for the last 2 years has been putting some great horsepower under the hood. PJ Peters, he owns this car. Francis Brothers are part of our program as well. It's nice to have a lot of great local support down here, and I enjoy driving for these guys.
Absolutely. Now you've been right up there in the thick of things for this track title, but Billy's been really tough to beat this year, as you made a mention a couple weeks ago. But you get this win. Thoughts on possibly maybe stealing one, or is the track title kind of out of the question right now?
Yeah, well, last week definitely hurt us. Breaking a spindle and finishing dead last, but. We're certainly not going to give up, keep at it every week. But right now we're just trying to bang down as many wins as we can. 13 right now, it's pretty good in a modified. We're going to try for some more.
Absolutely. Of course, you've had a banner year. 8 wins at Can-Am, second win here. The Big Block Series win, it's how much better could it get, really?
Yeah, the Big Block Series win was definitely pretty special, seeing as it's my second ever series start on the tour, and first in my own car to get that one pretty early is definitely nice. And we're joking that we had more series wins than Brett Hearn, but he won a big one last night.
Absolutely, Chris. Well, congratulations. Keep up your great season. Let's go celebrate this one with your crew, buddy.
All right, thanks, Tim.
All right, second win of the season for Chris Raby, and he's going to make somebody
to the outside. The hard-charging Louis Jackson Jr. looking for his first career win here at Mohawk in a Sportsman. They fire coming out of turn number 4. Thunder Anderson Jr. to the inside into turn 1. But here comes Louis Jackson Jr. He'll drift to the high side. We've got a gaggle of cars piled up. Can we get it straightened around? No, ma'am. As we've got a couple cars. I believe Brent Kelsey is in that. We're going to have a yellow flag on this one. Not the start we were looking for here tonight, as the cars really came together going into turn number 2.
Victory lane, they shook hands and they hugged, and it was quite the sight to see.
So Thunder Anderson once again will get restarted here. No laps complete. Thunder Anderson gets sideways coming out of turn number 1. Louis Jackson Jr. back up to front. The number 1 position as he'll slide his machine down the backstretch. Louis Jackson Jr., your race leader, has 3 wide going into turn number 3. You got Billy Cook, the man in the middle. To the inside will be the 8 of Dana Akins now, up into that number 4 spot. Jessica Power takes a peek on the inside, going to get off the gas there ever so slightly as Jenna David is settled in that number 5 position. But here comes Ricky Thompson back on the outside. But no, it's Jessica Power back to the inside of Jenna David. Look at the cars grouped up here. They are about 3 wide, 6 cars deep, as Dylan Evoy's got some homework here to do tonight. Louis Jackson Jr., your race leader, as now taking a peek to the inside will be the 3 of Adam Rozon. Rozon, he's got 1 feature win here this year at Mohawk as he pulls up alongside the 18 of Louis Jackson Jr. Jackson Jr. continues to lead on lap number 3. He sets his machine to the high side. Rozon takes a peek down low coming out at number 2. Down to the backstretch to the fire. Jackson to the high side. Rozon going to look to make something work on the bottom here, trying to get Louis Jackson Jr. off the bottom on lap number 4, as lap number 3 in the book scored as Louis Jackson Jr., your race leader. Back in throughout the field now. Dana Akins, he is in that number 3 spot. Jessica Power, Evoy now into the top 5. Great racing up front. The 18 of Louis Jackson to the high side. Coming out of turn number 4, Adam Rozon, your new race leader.
And right now, Jackson relegated to the number 2 spot. And just behind them, Dana Akins running in the number 3 position. As field starts to motor down into turns 3 and 4. Dana Akins is right there with him in the number 3 spot as they work up off of corner number 4. It's Rozon and Jackson 1 and 2. Akins into 3rd. Power and Evoy going at it for 4th and 5th. Evoy was running the top shelf, and he switches lanes coming into turn number 2, trying to get the advantage down the backstretch on Jessica Power. Couldn't make that work, though. He'll slide it up onto the top side of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. Look at Jenna David go on the top side as well. Just behind this battle, she gets by the 5 of Wyatt Mullen to pick up 6. Last week's feature winner, Mike Arquette, right there in 8th. Rick Miller is 9th, and Nolan Swamp completes the top 10 at this time. 7 laps are complete. Coming around this time, it'll be 8 in, 12 more to go. Adam Rozon in pursuit of his 2nd win of the season. But Dana Akins has other ideas, and he is not one In a long, long time, it's been since 2010 since Dana Aikens has been to Victory Lane. He did it that year twice at the Brockville Speedway. Wants to get his first ever Mohawk feature win if he possibly can. He has been getting stronger each and every week that he has been here. 9 laps are up on the board, and Adam Rozon's handling might be going away just a little bit in that number 3. He works down the back straightaway with the lead, but Dana Aikens is all over him, getting into turn number 3. Just behind them, it is Louis Jackson Jr., Jessica Power, and Dylan Evoy rounding out the top 5.
Halfway home now. Aikens to the inside of the number 3 of Adam Rozon. He pulls up wheel to wheel. Now he'll blow by him down in the back stretch. The 8, Dana Aikens, your new race leader. As Tim Balt said, looking for his first career win here at Mohawk in a Sportsman. To the bottom will go Dana Aikens. Last week, close finish at Brockville has to be a confidence booster for him. 9 laps to go, 9 circuits for Dana Aikens. Can he hang on and get his first career win here at Mohawk? That remains to be seen. Rozon in second, Jessica Power in third, Jackson Jr. in fourth, and now Dylan Evoy still in your top 5. Takes a peek to the inside of Jackson, can't get by him on this lap. Dana Aikens, 12 laps in, 8 to go for him as he comes out of turn 2, down to the backstretch. Jessica Power now makes a power move to the bottom, no pun intended, as she'll take her machine into turn number 3 and gets that number 2 spot away from Rozon. Now back to the bottom, it'll be Dylan Evoy. He gets by Rozon, and as you mentioned, Tim, Rozon's handling starting to go away from that machine ever so slightly, as he's developed a very, very tough push in that racing machine. Now Evoy, he'll pull up alongside the 18 of Louis Jackson Jr. Evoy on the bottom. Jackson drifts up a little bit of push on this racing surface, as now Evoy has cleared him and gets that number 3 spot away. Dana Aikens, your race leader, as he fires down to the backstretch. He sets his sights on the 23 machine of Mike Stacy. 14 laps in here. We've got 5 laps remaining as Aikens will come out of turn number 4. Dana Aikens continues to lead.
5 laps left to go, and Dana Aikens looking for a little bit of redemption here in the number 8 as he works his way down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. Jessica Power has got some company now in the form of Dylan Evoy as they work it up into corners 3 and 4. Dana Aikens comes in tonight 6th in the point standings and wants to try to get a little farther towards the top 5 if he can. This win tonight might help him if he can hold on for 4 more laps. The 52 of Power has Dylan Evoy all over the back bumper. Down the back straightaway they go. Louis Jackson Jr. and Adam Rozon having it out for 4th and 5th. 6th is Wyatt Mullen, 7th to Mike Arquette, 8th is Rick Miller, 9th is Nolan Swamp, and Ricky Thompson completes the top 10 in the 53. 3 laps left to go. Aikens gets by the 35 of Thomas Cook down the back straightaway, and Jessica Power is closing the gap, going into turn number 3. Off of corner number 4, Aikens leads the way. Power now has to deal with Thomas Cook's 35 as they get into turns 1 and 2. 2 laps left to go, and Aikens knows that he has got this race in his back pocket if he can hold on for a couple more laps. A half straightaway back is Jessica Power. She clears the 35 of Cook. Now Dylan Evoy does the same. White flag in the air for Dana Aikens. Trying to bring home his first ever Mohawk feature win and trying to get his first win in a Sportsman since 2010 at Brockville. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Up into turns 3 and 4. Off of corner number 4, ladies and gentlemen, Dana Aikens has broken a almost 2-year winless drought, grabbing his first ever Mohawk feature win. Jessica Power, Dylan Evoy, Louis Jackson Jr., Wyatt Mullen at the line will come home in 5th in a drag race with Adam Rozon. A spectacular run out there for Dana Aikens as Jessica Power pulls up alongside and congratulates Dana on his great supporters of racing. Not only at Brockville, but also here at Mohawk. And Glenn has been generous in giving away bicycles to the kids' clubs, both here and at Brockville as well. As he gets unbuckled from his ride, and he will be stepping out of that race car in just a moment. You see him really wanting to get out of that thing because it has been a long time since he's picked up the feature win. There he is, out of the car. First career Mohawk feature win for Dana Aikens. Brian, what you got down there, man?
Got a pretty excited race car driver. Dana Aikens getting tonight's feature win. 20 laps. He's going to put a hat on. Of course, he got that ready because he knew he was going to win tonight. As we'll have a few words with Dana, and then we'll have the Mod Light feature to conclude tonight. Very photogenic, the Dana Aikens racing machine, and the driver as well. Congratulations being happening here as him and Glenn Gould certainly put together a fine racing machine. And his little brothers here, Hugs and Victory Lane. Tell you what, Dana, congratulations, brother. You got it done tonight. You went to the bottom. That race car was hooked up.
Yeah, we've been pretty fast here lately, and it's nice to get one of these in the win column. It's been a couple of years probably since this Sportsman deal is a pretty tough deal, and I just can't thank the guys that helped me enough. You know, my uncle and my dad stand behind me. You know, no matter if it's going good or bad, and we finally got things all straightened out and going in the right direction.
So last week you had a close finish at Brockville. That little confidence boost that helped you this week?
Yeah, you know, we kind of struggled there a little bit more than we thought we would, and we've been better here. So, it doesn't appear that we can bring that same information here. We got kind of two different things going on, but it seems to be going good. And I was a little afraid that I didn't tighten the car up enough for tonight, but we got her done.
So you're going to go 2 for 2 on the weekend?
Well, I hope so.
Dana, anybody you'd like to thank?
I got to thank all my sponsors. I got to thank John Lazor and everybody at Mohawk, and all the guys for doing a great job, AJ. And all the fans.
Thank you very much, Dana. We'll see you in Victory Lane once again.
Thanks.
Thanks. Tonight's feature winner in Brass Horse Night, the 8 machine of Dana Aikens.
With us, of course, next week right here at Mohawk, Crown Appeal will be on hand, and the TUSA Mod Lite Series, 97.3 CKON FM sponsoring their little series this year. They'll be on hand as well. Green flag flies. We are underway, and Sylvain Laframboise is up into the early lead. Brian Green, who just took over the points lead a couple of weeks ago, dives down low, trying to get by Laframboise for the number 1 spot as they make their way off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. It's Laframboise to the top side, Brian Green down low, and Brian Green sporting that slow moving sign on the back of that car, but not many people have been able to see that this year, as he has had one whale of a season out there in that number 11 machine right there with Sylvain Laframboise. Not able to get by, though, like we thought he would. Up off of corner number 4 they go. It is Green now being able to get by Sylvain for the number 1 spot as they make their way up into turns 1 and 2, and down the back straightaway. Harley Brown going at it with Matthew Robinson in the 8-8, and Brown dives down low. He's going to pick off that 3rd spot with the 1W of Brad Reef holding down spot number 5 as they make their way off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. The 11 of Green holds down the top spot. Laframboise still holds down 2nd. Brown and getting around Laframboise, and he is going to charge after the top 2 drivers as they make their way down into turns 3 and 4. With 4 laps up on the scoreboard right now. Brian Green picked up his 4th feature win of the season 2 weeks ago, and would like to add a 5th win if he possibly could. It would be his 2nd in a row as he motors down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry. With Laframboise in 2nd, Brown, Robinson, and Brad Reef rounding out your top 5 at lap number 5.
Brian Green living large and loving things here at Mohawk this summer. He has really put a whooping on the field each and every week. He's won quite a few features as now he powers down to the backstretch. He's got the 7 machine of Sylvain Laframboise. A few handling issues there as he takes the machine down to the backstretch. The 8 of Harley Brown back to the inside will be the Scott Waldriff. He's got that number 30 ride for tonight. Or excuse me, that's the 88 of Matthew Robinson fighting for that number 3 spot. Robinson now pulls up alongside the 8 of Harley Brown. Back to the top side will go Brown, but Robinson, he's able to clear him now down to the backstretch as he'll take it down into turn number 3 to the low side. Brian Green now at the flagger stand on lap number 7. He continues to lead. He's opened up about a half a straightaway lead over the number 2 spot, the 7 of Sylvain Laframboise. Back to the bottom will go the 11 of Brian Green. Green will drift high. Coming out of turn number 4. Brian Green continues to lead on lap number 8. We've got the number 2 machine of Matthew Shontosh. He spun in turn number 2 all by himself as Brian Green will clear him on to the high side. And
my goodness, that was close.
That was a little car. So Green now down to the bottom. Single file restart now as they get bunched back together. It'll be Laframboise in 2nd. Robinson in 3rd. Brown in 4th. Rounding out your top 5 will be the 1W of Brad Reef. 8 laps in, 7 laps to go here for the Mod Lights as they conclude Brass Horse Night at the Mohawk International Raceway. Brian Green now breaks off to another great start for him. He'll take his machine in the turn number 3. Goes back to the high side. Is now Laframboy doing everything he can to hold off Robinson coming out of turn number 4. Lap number 9. We are on. Green led lap number 8. Green now back to the top side, down to the back stretch. He'll fire. As Laframboy doing everything he can to reel him in, but I don't know if he's going to have enough for him on this night. As bobbling a little bit is Green as he goes to the bottom out of turn number 4. Lap number 10, Brian Green continues to lead.
And despite that little bobble, he is charged out in front of this field with Sylvain Laframboise just behind him, and Laframboise does the 360, and he will bring it to a stop in corner. No, he will not. He'll keep it going, and we will stay under Green. 4 laps left to go for Brian Green. And he is gone and checked out on the rest of the field. A full straightaway lead over Matthew Robinson in that second spot. Harley Brown is now third. Brad Reef jumps up to spot number 4. Scotty Waldriff in that borrowed ride. In the Tim Reef number 30 has jumped himself up into the top 5. So Waldriff making the most of it right now as Dan Reef just behind him in that 6th spot. Then it's Matthew Shantosh and Sylvain Laframboise in that order. Down the back straightaway. 2 laps left to go this time for Brian Green as they make their way off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. Green sees the 2 lap flags, and we got Matthew Shantosh spun around again in between turns 1 and 2, and that will bring the caution out here with just 2 laps left to go. Of course, still underway, 7 o'clock this coming Sunday night at Cornwall. 2 laps left to decide this Mod Light feature go. Green flag is out. Harley Brown did not get going, and he loses a bunch of spots. That's going to allow Matthew Robinson to jump to the top side. He's going to make a race out of this one. Down the back straightaway they go. Look at where Sylvain Laframboise is. Sylvain is charged from the back of this field to challenge for third around the outside of Scotty Waldriff. Off of corner number 4, Brian Green slides it up off the turn, and he will see the caution flag. As Green brings them into turns 3 and 4 at a very, very slow pace. Matthew Robinson, Sylvain Laframboise tucked in there just behind him. Green flag is in the air. And Robinson will elect to go to the top side here. Coming into turns 1 and 2. Robinson on the top shelf. Brian Green down low. Green slips up a little bit off of corner number 2. Here comes Robinson charging after him into turns 3 and 4. Robertson looking to make one last shot at Green off of corner number 4. Won't get it done. Brian Green is 5th win of the year. Robinson will come home in 2nd. Laframboise, Brad Reef, Scotty Waldriff at